Hello, my name is Travis Womble, and today I will be covering SaaS growth in today's tech landscape. Many of you are at various stages of growth, and so the content that I will be covering will try to give you a perspective across those various stages. A little bit about myself. I live in Austin, Texas with my family. I have been a sales leader for over 8 years, including hyper-growth tech companies like VMware and Dropbox. So I will share my screen and we'll get into the content here. All right, so just to take a step back, first thing we need to look at are the various stages of the market that you will be going after inside of your organization. If you're early stage, it'll be earlier in this market. So this starts off with innovators. So brand new tech companies kick off, and the first customers they're selling to are innovators. So these are individuals and companies that are open to taking on risk to find new, exciting, high-tech solutions to help those companies succeed. The next group is going to be early adopters. And these are visionaries that are willing to take on the risk, but they don't necessarily look out for those new solutions. They're not looking and reading blogs and everything that an innovator does to find those new, exciting solutions. Instead, they're looking for confirmed successful stories, maybe in that group of innovators that have started using your solution. And then finally, what you have is the early majority. So this is where all super successful tech companies get. They become the pragmatists in that they are very picky in the solutions that they're looking for. These customers are, more focused again on having success stories, but they also want a very reliable technology, something that's been vetted out by many other purchasers, and something that's going to make sure that they achieve the value that they're trying to achieve. In this group, you can think about tech companies like Salesforce or Cisco, obviously huge companies that you want to get after and become. And you have a market that you're going after, which is 34% of the population. So a huge amount of companies that you would be selling to if you can get to that. Many of you are probably in the innovators and early adopter phase. And so it's really important to understand that you're there versus at the early majority stage. So as you're going through those markets, it's about understanding the stages for sales teams. So it begins with founder-led sales. And this is just, again, the original group of founders. And the goal is to graduate from founder-led sales. And so in this phase, founder-led sales are basically the founders are selling to companies. Maybe it's the initial couple sales. They're going out to market. They're having conversations with companies, trying to find where their product is a fit for companies. And they're really providing custom solutions that fit the needs of their customers as they're getting feedback. And it's called founder-led sales because they're actually changing the product. They're changing the solution over time to fit what their founders are looking for before they can really become set up like a repeatable, codifiable sales process. The next sales stage is really an organization trying to achieve product market fit. So typically what this is you have a founder, you have a group of founders, and they are starting to hire a product team. They are starting to hire a marketing team, and they are considering hiring a sales team. Sometimes, I talk to founders about this all the time, they want to hire the sales team right off the bat. They don't, they haven't really considered hiring product or marketing. And we actually are, my network and a lot of the people I talk to, what I recommend is that you build out your product and build out your marketing teams first to make sure that you have the demand to support a sales team. And then the final stage is a basically, here's a sales organization here on the right, which is you have a head of sales. You have an SDR, you have a group of AEs, and what your goal is here is to achieve go-to-market fit. And this is really where, like in this video, this GIF, you can pour gasoline on your sales organization. You can really start to replicate it out. But what you want to first do is build out your first sales organization, which is right here. And you really want to achieve that go-to-market fit. So to dive into the differences here on these stages. So your company will sell their first solution at the starting stage. After that, they will move to what's called achieving product market fit. So product market fit, we just talked about, is where your solution has been sold to companies, maybe 10, 20, 100 companies, whatever it is. And that solution is being renewed. And that solution is, something that is now meeting a market's fit, and customers are more intrigued about the solution. What you'll see here is you'll see waves where you see the 2 and the 3. And what that is organizations believe that they achieve product market fit. They start to move towards go-to-market fit, which is the next stage we're going to talk about. And then they realize that they're not ready. So their customer is not renewing. The market's changed. Their product is no longer has product market fit. And they have to go back and take a step back in time. So they go down the arrow, go down the chart here, and they have to reinvest in product. And they have to reinvest in marketing before they can go to that go-to-market fit. So again, that product market fit, you're typically, you have a product team, you have a marketing team, you may have a sales team. And as you move into go-to-market fit, you're hiring a sales team, your first sales team. Now, in the go-to-market fit stage, like we highlighted earlier, this is where you're really putting in the codifiable process that we're going to talk about today, the repeatable process where you're going to scale your sales organization. And you're going to build out basically multiple sales teams instead of just one sales team. Maybe in the product market fit phase, you had one sales team. Now you're ready to grow and you want to go build it out to 2 or 3. Obviously, there's a lot of decisions to be made here. There's a lot of costs to analyze and revenue to impact. So you want to bring in someone who knows how to go through this part of the process. But after you achieve that, you've started to achieve that growth. So you're hitting, annual growth of 300%, 300%, and you're starting to go to 200% and to 100%. That's okay. Those are still really strong growth numbers. And you're going to be doing that through that go-to-market phase. And eventually you'll keep scaling as the company grows, and you'll be in the later stage of growth. Maybe you're doing 50%, 30%, and so forth as the company grows. I'm not going to cover a lot of the metrics here, but as you go through these various stages, here are the metrics that you'll want to use at each of these stages. Because again, there's a big audience here. Some people will be in earlier stages. Maybe they're going through product market fit. So they're going to be focused on the number of customers they're getting, the average contract value, the discounts, the dollar per customer kind of metrics. But then as they move to go-to-market fit, it's ARR, MRR, how much pipeline is being built, what that pipeline conversion looks like. And you're starting to get the idea. It starts to become more of that sales motion that you want to get to. But you first have to get to product market fit to make that happen. So I will let you read through this slide. You can go through and check out all the various metrics at these various stages. I will say that the source for this content is Winning by Design. So you'll definitely want to check them out if you want to, dig into any more of this content, or you can reach out to me. Here's another chart to walk you through, which is, how do you take an unknown account to looping through your revenue organization, right? So now you're at that go-to-market phase. You're at that. You've already achieved product market fit. And now you're ramping up to the go-to-market fit. So, you're going to have the goal of, hey, we need to go get more customers. We need to capture those customers, and we want to loop them through our revenue organization. So the way that you'll capture those customers, we'll talk about those a little bit more in these slides, but you'll capture them through marketing, you'll capture them through product, and you'll capture them through community or partners. And you'll also capture them through the sales team generating their own sales leads. As you generate those leads, it's sales goals to convert those leads and to take the customer through your sales models and playbooks. So we'll cover some of those at a high level here. As you close these deals, your customer will then proceed through what's called a revenue loop. And so what a revenue loop is actually taking a customer from marketing. Let's say it's a lead that comes in, getting them signed up as a new logo and solidifying annual recurring revenue through that customer, and then moving them through the onboarding process, eventually making sure that they adopt the solution and they're happy with the solution. Maybe some will churn out. But as you do that, then you're going to be renewing and you're going to be expanding that ARR, and then you're going to be upselling those accounts. And so this kind of gives you a holistic picture of how to take a customer through these various stages of finding those leads and then taking them through the revenue cycle. Here's another slide to talk about how we're going to acquire and how we're going to navigate lead flow. So as you're all in these various stages, you have ideal customer profiles defined, or maybe you're still working through your ideal customer profile. Once you have that defined, you can work through your acquisition plan, right? So word of mouth, which is a number one way to get it. You want to get referrals from your other customers that are happy with the solution. So word of mouth is a really strong way to do that. Content and SEO. So your marketing team will be creating content and be handling search engine optimization. You'll also be paying for marketing and advertising, working through affiliates to gain leads. And then obviously you'll have your sales team going out to customers, which are your ICPs, and finding those leads. And as you move them through the process, the leads will fill out lead forms, they'll submit support requests, they'll use your product, they'll have account-based marketing. They will go through campaigns, and then they'll go eventually become an MQL, a marketing qualified lead, a product qualified account. And we can, obviously there's a little bit more to talk about there, but as they go through this process, you'll get these leads into your organization. There's on the right here are customers that are not your ICP. So these are not fitting the targets that you're shooting for from a marketing and a company strategic approach. And so these non-ICP accounts should go through self-service only. You can have some exceptions where you can have those types of accounts go through a sales assist motion, but you need to know you have to limit those because likely, again, they're not your ICP, so they're not likely not to be profitable or not likely to be a great fit in the long term. And so what we're here to talk about today, after going through all of that, is really the alternate sources of pipelines. So as all these organizations have really struggled with, whether, how to generate new pipeline, they're having to look at new sources. So in this, I'll just kind of quickly walk you through, an organization that's really PLG. So let's take a PLG company, and they're currently building pipeline through their product-led growth motions. Customers are going onto the website, they're signing up for the solution, they're using their solution in their work every day. You're able to see that usage, and then you're able to start converting on that usage. And that all is driven through the product and the product's reach out into the population. And as you want to drive new pipeline, then you'll add something called sales-led growth. So that's what SLG is. So sales-led growth is, in addition to PLG, you have your sellers proactively reaching out to accounts. And that might be accounts that are not using the solution today. And reaching out to those accounts, reaching out to your ICP, reaching out to your ideal customer profile, reaching out to the personas that fit, that where their product fits best. Leveraging various techniques such as, outreach, such as getting customer referrals, whatever they need to do to get in front of these customers. And then moving through to community-led growth is another option. So community-led growth for product companies or SaaS companies is going to look like you have a Discord channel, or maybe you're paying for a community type environment, or maybe it's through GitHub and you have an open source solution. So community-led growth in the end is going to bring people together around your solution. It's going to drive business to you through that. But it's important to understand that community-led growth is also going to be a way for you to get the voice of the customer regarding your solution. So as you think about new enhancements, things you need to change in the future, community-led growth is going to get a lot of that information to you. Another option that organizations are looking at is ecosystem-led growth. So think of resellers. Here in the United States, we have companies like SHI and CDW, and there are many smaller reseller organizations. There's also, you can consider some of your integrators and your integrations that you work with today. Ultimately, what you're working with is a group of partners that are already selling into these accounts. Maybe they're selling their own solution, or maybe they're selling a combination of solutions. And so you can partner with those ecosystem partners to find opportunities to sell into these accounts. So for example, let's say that you have a integration with a storage company and you have an e-signature solution. So you can combine those solutions to provide a greater solution for the customer. You sell your e-signature solution, your partner is selling their storage solution, and you're combining those to sell a more comprehensive solution for the customer. It's a win-win for the customer. It's a win-win for both of the partners that work together in that ecosystem. And in the end, everybody's happier. So it's an easy way for you to find ways into accounts that are already being worked by other sellers inside of your ecosystem. And then you're also seeing organizations look at new segments or verticals. So I've done a significant amount of work on talking about going up market. And going up market is a motion that's very popular right now for solutions that are typically more SMB focused, or maybe their mid-market focus is where they have more success. But as they look to find more pipeline in today's market, going up market is very attractive because these enterprise accounts still have good cash flows. They still have the ability to pay their bills, and so they want to see greater transformation as well. And so these organizations are willing to put up those funds. But there's a lot that a company has to do to go up market, and we won't be able to cover all of that today. But another thing that companies can do is add on a vertical. So let's say that you're focused on the healthcare space and you want to add on the education space. You can do that by adding a vertical to your organization. Now, it is important versus segmentation versus adding a vertical. If you add a vertical, you want to see key differences in your product. You want to see key differences in your marketing and your outreach that all match that vertical. So there's much to go into detail into each one of these different go-to-market motions. And I'm happy to talk individually with anybody about those. And then finally, I'll leave you with a sales model and really kind of some ideas around playbooks. I'm not going to walk you through this. I will leave this slide for you to just pause the frame and you can read through it. You can check out this model on the right, which is called Spiced. There's various sales models and types of playbook strategies that you can put together. So on the sales model side, you have the Spiced, which is what you're seeing in front of you. You have the Challenger model. You have a kind of a checklist model, which was what MedPick is, to make sure that you're following all the steps in the sales process to best secure the opportunities that you have. You have Sandler out there, as well as Command the Message. So there's a lot of sales models that you can take on. And then the playbooks are really kind of a combination of what those sales models are that you want to ingrain into your company, as well as the motion that we just covered, like PLG or SLG, or what your approach is to the market. So I hope this content was helpful. If anybody wants to reach out to me directly, you can find me on LinkedIn. My name is Travis Womble. And I'm sure you've already seen my information on the website. So thank you so much. And I wish all of you the best of luck.